Shalom. First of all, thank you for having us, Albert, and thank you, Pennsylvania, for welcoming us over here. It's an honor for us to be here, and we happen to be here in the United States because we went out to the floods, the flash floods in Texas. We called it the ZAKA Menorah Mission to Texas. And if we can have the next slide. For us, it was compassion in action from Israel to Texas. And but first of all, let us first explain where ZAKA stands for. So, Nachman, could you explain us a bit more about ZAKA and what you all do?
ZAKA is first good afternoon for everybody. ZAKA is an organization in Israel and also around the world, based with 4,500 volunteers in Israel and 2,500 volunteers around the world, and they are doing first responders, then search and rescue and recovering. That means we are every place in Israel for sure, and every accident, what happened, from the small thing to the big things, you will always see ZAKA will be there.
And where does ZAKA stands for? What does it mean?
ZAKA, I will say it in Hebrew, Chesed Shel Emet, Kvod Emet, and helping.
Taking care of the victims, the victim recovery. And first of all, to save lives, but also with a specialty to recover anything what is remaining. And about 30 years ago, ZAKA started when the big waves of terror attacks were happening in Israel. And we had even the guys with the, how do you call it, the suicide bombers going into buses. And there were first responders, but there was no one to take care of that was remaining. And according to Jewish tradition, in every person is created in God's image, and also in life, in blood there is life. So every part of a human being needs also to have a proper burial, and that's what ZAKA stands for.
It means every drop. She was talking before that she went to the grave of the car graves. Every car was checked, not one time, not two times, not three times. Everything was cleaned up because we believe that, like Marnix explained, and we believe that every drop of blood, every piece needs to be give back to God, like He give it to us. He bring us to the life. We give it back, and we bury every piece of the rabbis here. Then.
All right. Next slide, please. So, after all these years that ZAKA exists, we have a vision also for the future, what we call ZAKA Menorah, what will unite Jews and Christians to help around the world as voluntary teams. And when we saw curfew unfolding on the news, we just knew we had to be there. Can I have the next slide? The whole idea of ZAKA Menorah is to train Christian and Jews volunteer first responders around the world. Next slide. And as I said, we saw all on the news what was happening in Kerrville, the floods that were happening, and we started to got in touch with each other and said, we just have to be there. And you want to tell this story?
Can I say something? It's the ZAKA Menorah. It's a big thing, but we don't have the time to explain everything. But for us, for the team here, it's the first time that we go out It was like when Marnix called me, I was in Ukraine because we are taking care in Ukraine about a lot of Jewish Holocaust survivors we bring to Israel and also wounded people, but this is what we are doing now in Ukraine. And Marnix called me, something happened. Say, and then I was like, I just arrived in Ukraine after 24 hours away, and he said, we need to go. I say, yes, but we don't have nothing, no money, no, what do you want to do? He said, I'm going to the airport, and I'll take it over how you get to the airport. Last minute, no flights. Everybody knows it was a couple of days after the wall from Iran. No flights. Marnix came to the airport with his wife, with a suitcase, and he said, I will be in the flight. And he was on the phone the whole time, and he said, no flights. He said to me, should I go? And we say, okay, if you're already in the airport, wait in a couple of minutes, let's see. 55 minutes before the airport, before the flight doors are closing, I get a phone call, you have one seat in the, and from there we see more and more miracles. Please share.
The story is a little bit longer actually, because...
No time. We don't have time.
Oh, we have 5 minutes left. No, but it was a miracle in itself how we got to Curfew. We have a partnership with the National Sheriff's Association here in the United States. That was, of course, the first door through who we contacted. They passed it on to the local sheriffs, and we heard back they put us on a volunteer list, and it was not really the level where we normally work on. And then it was quiet, and then we sent a letter to Ambassador Abbott, and he passed it on to the Chief Emergency Management, and it was again quiet. And we started to make some local phone calls and heard from people that know us, we really need you here. So that was the reason why we decided, now let's jump on this plane.
Can I say one thing?
Okay.
The reason... No, we are always like this. We are brothers from the same father, not from the same mother, but we are together 24/7. We share everything, then it's okay. What was for me the reason that I say we will go for everything in the world was when I was talking to people in America. I don't want to say who, but it's in how we say, high level. And I say it was 3 days after what happened. And they say to me, I don't understand you. You know, they are dead already. And it was in a Zoom. And this Zoom was 7 people. And for me, I was thinking, if this was happened in Israel, they are dead. So long I didn't see the body, I will go in Shabbat and I will do everything to keep alive, because I saw him the last time in the life. For me, he is alive till I see the body. This is number one. But I was like a little bit, I try to be Israeli, I would say, and I say, if it was you, grandchild, you think it's the same way that you will wait another week till we will baste everything and arrange and find the body? The answer was, I will call you back. I'm waiting till now for the phone call.
Yes, but just to continue the God story, I would say, is that I jumped on the plane, but I had no meeting set. I only knew that our letter was passed on to the Chief Emergency Management, and that was it. And in between, from New York, I was calling with Nachman. Nachman, I don't have a meeting. I don't have anything planned. He said, JPB, it will be okay. And when I landed in San Antonio on the airport, I again says, Nachman, I still don't have any invitation, no meeting, no nothing. And on the way to the to Curfew, I was still making phone calls, and I only had a business card of a police officer in Curfew. So I went there with my ZAKA vest. I said, I'm here from ZAKA to help. I'm looking for this police officer. And he said, she said, the commander center. So I said, where's the commander center? He said, this is the address. And I drove to the commander center. It was full with security and police and whatever. Helicopters, and I just arrived there with my ZAKA vest. Nobody stopped me, nobody asked questions. There were 3 guys standing at a chopper. I said, I'm here for the Chief Emergency Management. Oh, we take you in, and they walked me inside, and then...
say before he didn't have invitation. God invite him till
And I said, here I am. I said, I'm from ZAKA, and we sent a letter to the governor, and yeah, we know about you. We know ZAKA. We have done things with you in the past. And then they said to us, can you help us with the calculations of the hydraulics? And we show you.
Next.
Oh, no, you got, yeah. So we got, in the end, an official request from the Texas Division of Emergency Management, I passed this information up to Nachman. They were talking about terminologies where I never heard about, but gladly I managed to remember everything and pass this information to Nachman, our commander. He fully understood what was needed, and the next day we were as a team with the team in Israel and the team in Kerrville in a Zoom, and exactly what they needed. We show you a little movie which explains. It's based on advanced hydrological modeling, and we show you a little video how it works. Could you start this?
When we started working, there were about 300 people missing already.
Can you stop?
Can you stop 1 minute?
One second.
One second.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Hello. We are honored to share a message from Professor Barak Fishbrain, who developed this model, hydraulic model, and we give him the honor to share.
When we started working, there were about 300 people missing already. We had ZAKA team on site, which helped us a lot in actually to close loops in much faster pace than if we work only from Israel. And almost all the data that we gathered that allowed us to work was brought to us by the people of ZAKA who were on site. So what is this information that we needed? So what you see here, this is Lake Nimitz in Kerrville, Texas, and this is one of the shallow water crossing. And this is just Google Map, and what you see here is what's called digital elevation map. And we needed detailed elevation maps that actually describe the area quite adequately. And you can see here, you can see the shallow water crossing. Okay, so we acquired all of these for the entire Kerr County region. The second thing that we needed is water. Now you can estimate the amount of water in two ways. The first one is through flow meters. The second one is through precipitation. We went with the former. And unfortunately, some of the gouges that actually measure flow were carried by the flood as well. So we needed to interpolate the data that we didn't have, and this called for some mathematical manipulation on the data that we did have. Then you combine both the elevation map and the water amount, and you model them, and you put them together in order to model the flow. And what you see here, this is the actual flash flood as we modeled it. This is Hunt, this is Kerrville, and this is Comfort, and this is the entire region that we focused on. Now it seems to work very quickly and very efficiently. To run such a model, to calibrate such a model, to build such a model with all the details that I showed you takes days, and in this case, days and nights. So once we have the flow model here, then the next step is to take this flow regime and put it against the victims that were found. So this is just a snippet, a zoom-in image of the river just west of Kerrville. And what you see here in pink are the victims that were found already at this point when we ran the model. And one interesting fact that you can see is the more red the location is, the faster the velocity of the flow is. And you can see that in location where you have fast flows, you don't find victims. Actually, in areas where you have slow flows, like here, here, and here, you don't find victims. And you do find victims where the gradient, where the change in the velocity is the highest. Now, this has to do with physics. Actually, it's the shear forces are diagonal to the flow in the location with the highest change. But this is actually what gave us a hint where to find the victim. You can see here, there's a huge change from fast to slow and fast again. You can see here that you have...
Okay, this goes on for 10 more minutes. So if you're interested, we do a separate session. But just to say that in Kerrville, they described the need. We passed it on to our commander. And the next morning, we were sitting with the right people, providing the right technology in order to help in Kerrville. The first time that ZAKA didn't really put our hands really into the dirt, but it was really from behind the computer. During the day, we were collecting data, and during the night, the team in Israel was processing all these data and simulations, which took hours, as the professor also described. But in the end, they were happy with the results. We gave over all the technology so they could work with it. And we hope that in the end, this may have been a blessing here in the United States. At least that's what we understood, that they would like to put us now on the top 10 of search and rescue teams here in the United States. So we always had Texas as our vision to start the ZAKA menorah. And when I arrived, before the team arrived, there were straight away Christians jumping up to help us. They heard we were in town, and it was amazing. You see here a couple that were like bulldozers around me and helped me with everything. Before I knew, they had even their truck prepared with the Israeli flag and the ZAKA logo. In the end, we didn't need it, but that was just how they were ready. They helped even with bringing in kosher food from San Antonio. It was incredible how Jews and Christians united to just help out. Would you like to add something?
I think everything was the same, but what I need to say, when we arrived there, the love that we find with the Christian that came to try to everything. What do you need for your kosher food and everything? It was something amazing to see that everybody was together, and this team that started from there, and they want to be a part of ZAKA to create the ZAKA menorah in the future.
Yes, exactly. So that is our vision indeed, to launch this interfaith volunteer first responder units, and we really believe that Texas is now the birth of ZAKA menorah, and we're looking for more people to join us and to spread it also to Pennsylvania, state by state. We need your prayer, we need moral support, we need brains, we need connections, the right connections, and we're looking for partners, but of course also sponsors, because we really have to start now. We believe it's the right moment. I hope I'm not recorded, but we all know that there's a Red Cross which is not always doing the things they should do for Israel. But hopefully the ZAKA menorah can stand in this gap, to unite together, to stand in this gap and to save lives and to honor that. And if I can have the next slide. There's a barcode. You can become a friend of Friends of ZAKA and a newsletter. But if you have any questions, come to us. And there's so much more to share and to speak about, but we have only 20 minutes. I don't know if you want to say something.
No, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, here's one more slogan from Valerie.
Life needs to be before protocol, politic, and bureaucratic. This is what we want to change.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.